So this video will contain spoilers of the final fight with the Glassmaker Nightwave, so if you want to avoid them then please stop watching. Now, I'm not normally a negative person when it comes to Warframe or any game really, because I try to have a positive outlook. They are supposed to be a source of a getaway from your day-to-day life, and honestly there is enough people making negative content, so please understand where this video is coming from, okay? Critical tater it is. Nightwave's Glassmaker Story has effectively come to an end 6 months after it dropped. It's a long time. It started back in early May, but working from home for Digital Extremes more than likely dragged that out. Now, the first two Nightwaves lasted about 3 months each. This one was 6 months of Nora yelling about glass resonance in your area, interrupting all kinds of missions. And in those 6 months we have had 5 empty rooms to walk around and a boss fight at the end of it. 5 different Nightwave scenarios where you had to do detective work, find clues while you slowly, painfully walk around an area, scanning the ground for those clues. And at times while experiencing this, I felt like I might have gotten the same experience if someone had have just taken a long run at me and kicked me square in the nuts. Nightwave Nutcracker might have been a better name. Now, what did you think of the ending before I go a little bit further? Make sure and let me know in the comment section below whether you enjoyed the experience of Glassmaker or not. Like I said, the story itself is over, but you can still continue to prestige for another while, or you will still be able to catch up and finish the Nightwave, because I would imagine it might be after Christmas when it finally comes to an end, considering the global virus affecting everyone's lives and, like I said, Digital Extremes working from home. Now, for me, when it comes to Glassmaker, I found the whole experience to be incredibly tedious. The story was okay, I enjoyed it, and it was cool to finally see what Nora looked like. And originally I was open to the idea of investigating smaller areas, but having us walk around really slowly felt completely off in a game that is centered around fast movement and parkour. Staring at the ground while you shuffle through an area isn't really enjoyable, but it might not have been so bad if they had have just added a better flash or maybe a sparkle effect to those clues, or some kind of even a sound element to each clue, a humming that maybe got louder as you got closer to the clue, allowing you to know exactly where it might be situated. At times, walking around slowly reminded me way too much of the town in Anthem, when you're walking around getting quests where there was no option to speed up. It was just frustrating. However, this final Glassmaker investigation, where you had to search a very large infested area for clues that melded perfectly into their surroundings, left a really horrible taste. The clues and the background colours were more or less the same. There was a very minimal sparkle effect, like I said, on the clues themselves, and it was an infested Orokan area full of small pockets to hide clues away in, but also put them near other items that were the very same shape as them, so that it made it hard to decipher if there was a clue in that area or not. And there is also reports of clues spawning under objects, making it next to impossible to even see them. I think it took me about 30 minutes of slowly walking around to find all of the clues. There was shackles hanging up on a pillar, which I didn't see originally. The shackles were the item I believe that can also spawn under glass shards, making them impossible to see right where you spawn into the actual area. A tiny glass shard is another clue I got that looked like a lot of the glass shards in that area, so it was kind of deceiving. There was a Fang Prime that was buried on a wall segment that was honestly really hard to see as well. So in all, I think it was a bit of a terrible design choice the way they went with this investigation. But then once the clues were finished, we got to the final boss fight, Nihil and his big Vitrisha sword. Now, I would imagine, like a lot of you, this was an encounter that I was really looking forward to, since they showed off what Nihil looked like on a previous dev stream. Don't get me wrong, I fully expected this to be like other boss fights in the game, where there would be invulnerability phases followed by a window of combat, which is exactly what the mechanics of the fight is. However, the fight itself isn't what I was expecting. I was expecting more of an actual combat where we got to use our weapons. This one requires you to jump from platform to platform with no weapons, while those platforms are being destroyed by Nihil. You're trying to avoid him as he does his big sword swing that is an instant one-shot kill from a boss that is invulnerable. Invulnerability that you have to break. Nihil will shoot crystals out of his forehead that will land on the ground beside you. If they don't hit you, you can then pick those crystals up and use them to break some of the rotating crystal prisms that go around the arena. Once you break these, it will open Nihil up to taking damage. Then you just have to pick more of those projectiles up and throw them at Nihil to actually deal damage. Then he becomes invulnerable again, and then it's rinse and repeat as the platforms are slowly being broken away. Now the fight was, to put it bluntly, dull. I'm sorry, that's just the way I felt about it. Maybe you felt different. I didn't enjoy it one little bit. It wasn't hard, it wasn't inspiring, it was just a task you have to do in order to get your hands on that sword. Warriors of blade and gun who didn't really get to fight the boss with either blade or gun, just throw some sparkly bits at him. Now, the story itself, the lore behind, I guess, Glassmaker and Nora as well, was okay for the most part. It's not something that's going to, I guess, stay with me. I'll probably forget what the story was all about in about a month's time, and I'll end up having to re-watch some of the cutscenes in order to remember what the hell had happened. But like I said at the start of the video, I'm not a negative person. I don't really enjoy making these types of videos, but the frustration alone from having to go through that investigation and the previous investigations as well, while having to do that type of a boss fight right after it, like I said, just left a really horrible taste, and I really don't want to have to do in Nightwave again. And considering this one is already going for 6 months and it probably won't end for another month, maybe 2 months, it's definitely going to be our longest ever Nightwave in game. Not sure what way they will approach the next Nightwave, but like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you think or what you thought of the whole Nightwave experience now that the story or the main elements of it is over, or what you would have changed or what you would have liked to have seen done instead. What do you think of the weapon, the Vitricia, now that you have your hands in it? When you colour it, it looks completely off. It looks like a big massive plastic blade, but I'm sure they'll probably hotfix that or change that. But as always, thanks for watching.
We ready?
Ready.
Now sing, you bastard. Here he is, the terror of the orc, bottled up like a rich lady's bathwater, or 2-credit hooch. Do what you want with him. Prop a door open, bury him 20 feet deep. Either way, he's yours. It's up to you to make sure he never gets loose again. Hell of a day, dreamer. Hell of a day.